So when it comes to video editing, there can be quite a lot to it. So in this video, we wanted to give you 10 tips that will help you improve your video editing and help you create better videos.
Hello everyone, we are Chris and Christina, and together with Filmstock, we're here to help you make better videos and empower your inner video creator.
So just before we get started, make sure to hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss any future tips and tricks videos like this one.
So let's talk video editing and the tips that will help you speed up the process and become a better video editor.
Okay, so tip number one is quite a simple one, but it is a very important one. And that is to make sure that you have set your sequence to the correct frame rate. Now, if you're not sure what that is, I'll very quickly explain it. So when you're recording video on your camera, you will have to choose what frame rate you want to record the video in. That could be 24 frames per second, 60 frames per second, or possibly 120 frames per second, depending on what type of shot you want to get. So let's say you've recorded a clip which is 24 frames per second and you want to edit that into a video of some sort. You will have to bring the clip into your video editor, in this case Filmora, and then you can create your sequence from there. But what you want to make sure is that the sequence that you're bringing your clip into is the same frame rate as the clip itself.
Now usually the sequence will set itself from the first clip that you drag in, but it's always important just to make sure that it's correct.
You can very easily check this is correct in Filmora by clicking on File and then Project Settings, and here you will see Frame Rate. Just make sure it is set to the same frame rate as your original clip and you're good to go.
So this is another really simple one, and this is to really help you speed up the process of your video editing, and that is changing the playback quality. So we've all been there in those video editing sessions. You're trying to watch your video back, but everything's getting a little stuttery or laggy. Well, here's a solution for that. If you change the playback quality to really anything other than full, a half, a quarter, or an eighth, this will really help speed up the process. So essentially you are watching it back at a lower quality, but this helps your computer just help to run it a whole lot easier.
So this next tip is one that you can use in a variety of different ways, and I don't know how to explain it any more than zooming in and out using keyframes or something along those lines.
Never underestimate the power of a good zoom.
So let's say you're doing a talking head clip, just like this. If we wanted to emphasize a particular point, we could slowly zoom in or dramatically zoom in at a certain time, and it just helps emphasize the point and keep the viewer's attention. Another way you could use this is, for example, if you've got a nice drone shot and you just kept the drone steady while you were filming the clip, what you can do is use some keyframing and zoom in gradually as the drone moves and maybe look up or look down. It just makes the clip look a bit more dynamic and adds something a little bit extra to it. So the J-cut is one of our favorite little things to do in our videos, and I think it is very effective. It really helps to just link clips together and make your video flow seamlessly from clip to clip. So what you simply need to do is allow the audio from the second clip to underlap the first clip, if that makes sense. So let's say we have a little cinematic sequence and we have a shot of some mountains with maybe a train track in the foreground, and then the next shot we have a shot of a train flying past. You could add the sound effect of a train going past, but allow it to start before the clip of the train starts. So as the first clip is ending, you start to hear a train come in, and then it cuts to the second clip of the train going past, which just helps link things together very nicely. So essentially the viewer knows what's coming without actually seeing the second clip.
So an L cut is basically the opposite of a J cut. Instead of audio coming in early from the second clip, instead with an L cut, the audio from the first clip is extended underneath the second clip. So this is commonly used in interviews, for example, or videos that have dialogue, but one of the ways that we like to use it a lot is with music. So instead of cutting the music dead at the end of a clip, the music slowly fades on and then you can fade it out for that nice little transition.
And that leads us on very nicely to the next tip, which is fading your audio in or out. We do this all the time for both J cuts or L cuts, and also at the start of our videos. So in both examples we talked about bringing audio in under either the first clip or delaying it and keeping it under the second clip, but with both those examples what we would do is fade the audio in or fade the audio out. This is very easy to do in Filmora, for example, where you just double click on the clip and then you can choose to fade out or fade in and how much you would like that to affect the clip. This can work very nicely for music or for sound effects where you just want them to slowly increase and then slowly fade away under certain clips.
So sticking with the audio tips here, another thing that we really like to do is cut your clips to the beat of the music. This is a very effective way if you're not quite sure where to cut your clips, but be careful not to overuse it because it can get very repetitive. Just keep your clips in a nice flow and with good timing to the music and you will be good to go. It will be very nice to watch.
When it comes to video editing, transitions are one of those things that can be used in a very effective way. It can help tie all of your clips together and also allows you to create a little bit of a theme with your videos. So if you're not sure what that is, then transitions are essentially using an effect to transition from one clip to another. So as you may have seen in a lot of these videos, we like to use different transitions from different Filmstock packs depending on the type of sequence that we're creating. Filmstock has a lot of choice when it comes to transition packs, and I'm sure you can find one to suit any type of video sequence. This could be something like an old vintage camera transition, or something like this that may work better in a gaming style video, for example.
Try to add some animation to your videos where you can so that things don't get too boring. So for example, let's look at title screens. You could of course just put plain text on a plain background. It might work, but it also might look a little bit boring. And again, what we like to do is use Filmstock to find some really suitable animated titles for our videos. This really helps to keep your viewers' attention and also helps you to create your own style with your videos too. So instead of having to spend the time trying to animate things yourself, which could take some time, you can just use Filmstock and all their different packs to find mini animated things like titles, effects, overlays. All of this is included in many Filmstock packs. So you can use those to create your own cool title screens.
So on to the final tip, and that is time lapses, or speeding clips up. It's essentially the same thing. So you may have noticed in previous tutorial videos that we do that there is a lot of editing in it, and sometimes it can take a few minutes to do, and often what we will do in these parts is we will speed up the clip so you can watch it back in a much less time and you can still see what we're doing, it just isn't as boring. And essentially what we're doing there is creating a little mini time lapse. This can be useful in many different scenarios. So let's say for example you're going on a little drive and you want to make a travel vlog of some sort. Maybe you get your action cam, stick it on your window and hit record, and it just records your whole journey along the road. Obviously if you include that whole thing in a video it will last
a long time.
So what you want to do is bring the clip in and then speed it up and everybody can see where you went, and it just looks a lot better and doesn't get boring. So if you use Filmora and you want to know how to do that, it's quite simple. All you have to do is drag your clip in, then right click and go to speed and duration, and you can then choose how much you want to speed up the clip, and that's pretty much it. A simple and easy little tip that is very effective in certain scenarios. So there you go, 10 video editing tips that will help you become a better video editor and hopefully help you create better videos.
So make sure you try some of those out in your own videos and hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any future video tips. Keep creating and we will see you in the next one.